Hi, I'm Neeraj and this is my entry for Tiny Desk Contest 2020. Did the world stop turning when the forests were burning? The oceans were rising, polar bears were dying. Did the world stop turning when the markets were down? The housing had crashed and the streets were shut down. Did the world stop turning? Did the world stop turning? The world stopped turning, did the world stop turning? The world stopped turning when the airwaves were sold and the weapons weren't found after decades of war. Did the world stop turning when the borders were drawn? When the buildings were bombed and the children were drowned? Did the world stop turning? 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 Did the world stop turning when the borders were drawn? The buildings were bombed and the children were drowned. Did the world stop turning when the forests were burning? The oceans were rising, polar bears were dying. Did the world stop turning? Did the world stop turning? The world stop turning? Did your world stop turning? We stayed home indoors and we clapped our hands. We hailed our leaders, we lost our jobs. Disease came back and the virus was king. Its crown was thick and its kingdom was big. Did the world stop turning when the flowers were blooming? The bees were buzzing and the kangaroos were hopping. The world stopped turning when the tigers were hunting. The bears were eating and the pandas were mating. The world kept turning and the world kept turning. The people were gone but the world kept turning. The world kept turning as the seas were cooling. The whales stopped reaching and the dolphins were racing. The world kept turning as the glaciers were rising. The corals were shining and the birds were migrating. The world kept turning and the world kept turning. The people survived and the world kept turning. Then started sharing a brave new world of hope and caring. The times had changed and the world had not stopped.